Hey guys, this is Bo from Music in Minnesota, and we are here with Josh Clutter tonight.
Hello, I'm Josh Clutter.
He is one of my favorite artists and a good friend, and I thought it'd be perfect to interview him tonight as he's playing here at Mill City Nights. So my first question to you, Josh, is who are you?
Who am I? That's a deep question. Well, I'm Josh Clutter, and I'm a singer-songwriter based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing a lot of shows in the Twin Cities. I go on tour frequently, and I have 2 albums out right now, writing for a 3rd one. Yeah, just playing shows, meeting people, and writing songs. It's the life I've always wanted, so I'm doing it. My biggest influences are probably, not a lot of people have heard of him, but a guy named Ben Rector. He's a songwriter out of Nashville, but another big influence is Ed Sheeran. He's my hero. So I want to be him when I grow up. So I'm gonna dye my hair orange and yeah, do that thing. But I love him. He's good. So yeah, people like that, like acoustic, by yourself, no band kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm pushing for.
So what was your life like growing up? Did you have any siblings, or did you live in the city, out in the country?
Yeah, I was a suburban kid. Lived in the suburbs. So I had a house, and there were houses all around me. So I wasn't really a country or a city boy, really. But I had a couple siblings, and I was homeschooled, actually, growing up. So I was really awkward and had no friends. That was great. So that's why I'm probably good at guitar, because I practiced that a lot, because I didn't have friends. But I went to high school, so I got friends eventually. But yeah, so I was just an awkward little kid, played a lot of guitar, lived in the suburbs. And yeah, that's basically my childhood.
Cool. Yeah. Is your music Christian-based, or is it just kind of, there's no attachments to it, it's just have a good time and play?
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I'm a Christian, and I am. That's what I believe. But I don't really like to put that label on my music, just because, I don't know, I feel like some people are like, oh, you're a Christian artist, and they kind of shy away. But I just try to write really honest music and stuff that people can relate to, be encouraged by, and just be very real. And the more honest my songs have been, the more people have come up to me and have said that they liked it and were encouraged by it. And music is a powerful thing. And so if I can do that and encourage people to live better lives and get through the hard times, then that's kind of my goal. So I'm not going to write songs that are like, Jesus, yeah, Jesus. But I like those songs, but I'm not going to write those songs.
That is one thing that's difficult for me to like that music. Mm-hmm. Music that just seems like it's just too much cheesiness.
Yeah.
And I feel like it works for a lot of people. I'm not bashing it by any means, but I feel like the music that subtly, represents positivity and Christ are the ones that get to the teenage kids and the younger generation more, rather than like scaring them off.
Yeah. There's, those big Christian bands. They're good for that inner Christian community, and they do great things. But I want to step outside of that church community and play venues that aren't Christian, play at bars, and just reach out to kids that are they're going through real problems, and just let them know that I go through those things too, and we all do, and let's all help each other out. Let's encourage each other, and that's some of the artists I listen to. That's what they do, and I get encouraged by them, and so that's kind of what I want to do for kids or adults, whoever's listening.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you were in a Christian band called Love Out Loud, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. Were you in any other bands other than Love Out Loud?
I mean, I was in high school stuff. Like in high school, I had my first garage rock band. We played in my garage, and I was like soloing and shredding all the time. And but no, Love Out Loud was like the only really other legit thing I did. But yeah, it was just Love Out Loud, and then doing my own thing now.
So what made you decide to be a solo artist?
Well, when I was in Love Out Loud, it was great. I loved every second of it, but I never really got the chance to write any of the songs. I wrote the guitar parts, and that was really cool, and I loved it. But I was like, man, I really want to try my hand at songwriting. And so while I was still in the band, I wrote my first song, Is This Love, released it in 2012. And I just loved the process of songwriting just from that one song. I was like, this is so much fun. I'm expressing myself. I'm writing lyrics. This is so cool. And, I had that feeling, and I wanted to do that again and continue to do that. And so I discovered the songwriting part and just kept on going with it. And eventually I left Love Out Loud, and I was like, I'm going to do this full time now. So that's kind of how I got into the songwriting thing. And so, yeah.
Nice. So what's the highlight of your career so far? And you can include the Love Out Loud timeline if you want or not.
Okay. Highlight of my career. Let me think. Well, in Love Out Loud, I got to play at Sunshine Festival one year, and there was like 3,000 people in the crowd, and I was really nervous. And that was awesome, though. Like 3,000 people, that's insane. That hasn't happened since then, but it was awesome. But there are so many shows. I've played a lot of shows with a ton of people, and I've done that. But the best thing I like about my career is that when I play a show, even if it's like 10 people in the crowd, if someone comes up to me and like talks to me about their life and tells me that my song helped them out in some way, like that almost brings me to tears, and I love that. And that's really why I do this. I got to pay the bills too, but to know that my music is helping someone out is just an incredible feeling. And there's been multiple times in the last couple months where kids have come up to me and said that my song has encouraged them in some way, and so that's what I want to pursue, and those are the highlights to my career, I think.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on the fact that your dad is the radio personality for KTIS. Has that in any way helped your music career?
Kinda. I mean, he's gotten me a few gigs. Obviously, he knows a lot of people in the industry, and so that's cool. I think the reason I'm so into music is because my dad has a really good music taste, and growing up he's like, Josh, you should listen to this band, and so I think my love for music came from him, and I always thought it was just so cool that he was a personality on the radio. I'm like, yeah, my dad's famous, whatever. Check it out, tune in.
Yeah, that's got to be awesome. So was he always involved in music, or was he trying to get on the radio for many years, or how did he land that job?
Yeah, he just, at a young age, from what he's told me, he wanted to be a personality. He wanted to be on the radio, like since he was a child, and he went to school for it in North Dakota somewhere, some small town, and was on a country radio station and did that for a couple of years, and then he landed the KTIS gig way later. He was actually a traffic guy before he was on KTIS. Really? On KARE 11, yeah, he was the traffic guy, which was cool. Did that for like 10 years, and then got the gig at KTIS. But yeah, he's always wanted to be on the radio his whole life, and so he pursued it, followed his dream, made it, and that was inspiring for me too. I was like, oh, my dad followed my dream, so I'm gonna follow my dream, kind of thing. Yeah.
Most parents ultimately just settle for what's necessary to keep their kids and roof over the house and food on the table, but he actually went for it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So he was he would say, hey, listen to this band and all that stuff when he was in the radio business. As far as like the KTIS thing, was he like, when he was doing traffic and stuff, was he like, hey, you should check out this traffic, dude, it's crazy?
No, I didn't really talk to him about traffic much. I mean, I don't know. Every time I tune into a TV station now, like KARE 11 or Channel 5 or something, and the traffic guy comes on, it just reminds me of my dad. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my dad used to do that. So
you text him and be like, love you,
Dad. I was thinking about you when I was on traffic the other day.
It's a huge traffic jam on 35.
35W. Yeah, that was weird.
That's awesome. Is music paying your bills and all that stuff right as of now, or not quite?
For the most part, yeah. It depends on how many shows I have, and how many people are there, how many people are supporting me. But yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Do you have a job? Do you have a day job?
Sometimes I've had. Sometimes I do. Yeah, I didn't work all summer. I did a lot of touring and playing shows. For the most part, my income is fully from music. But sometimes I pick up odd jobs. Like there's this warehouse I sometimes work at. Sometimes I do landscaping with my uncle, that kind of thing. But the goal is to not do that and just do music. So some months it works, some months it doesn't, and I pick up an odd job.
Do you ever experience writer's block when you're writing?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Like there's those guys that tell you, oh, I write a song a day, and I'm I'm like, oh, that's what I need to be doing. I don't do that. It's so hard. I write probably like a part a day, like a chord progression or a melody, but one song probably takes me about a month to finish. Like, I just wrote a new song, and I played it tonight actually, but that took me about a month to get all the lyrics just right, and I'm kind of a perfectionist. But yeah, I've been writing like 5 songs a year. I'm trying to up that because I want to release a full length next year. But yeah, it's hard, man. When the inspiration's not there, you're just like, yeah, come on, something. So it's very discouraging at times, but it's worth it when you get that song out. So
yeah, definitely. So you're currently living around the Minneapolis area? Yep. Is this where you'd want to be, or where would your dream location be?
I love Minneapolis. I think it's a great city, beautiful city, and the music scene is great. People here are really nice in the music scene. I think it's every singer-songwriter's dream to live in Nashville. I love Nashville, and the vibes are always great there. So I would love to live there someday, but I don't mind Minneapolis except for the cold weather. But other than that, I really like it here. Cool. Yeah.
What are your hobbies outside of music?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I hang out with my girlfriend, and I like to write too. I'm working on a memoir right now, and I write blogs and stuff. So that's another passion of mine. I longboard during the summer. That's really about it. I don't know. Yeah.
So you said you have a girlfriend. Does she have any sort of influence on your writing at all? Does she inspire you to write love songs or things like that?
I'm kind of shying away from the love songs, and like I had written all my love songs before we started dating, and I kind of just love songs are great, but I'm kind of, I think, maturing a little bit and going a little deeper into my thoughts and how I feel about certain situations.
Well, it was great talking to you, and thank you for taking the time.
Thanks so much, man.